In Sylvania, the dead rise again. The vampire counts march forth.
Hello and welcome to another Total War Warhammer guide. Today we are looking at the new DLC, The Grim and the Grave. I keep forgetting the name, I think it's a silly name. And we are looking at the big daddy of them all, the no-nosed man that is called Vlad Von Carstein. You have to say Vladimir in a really bad Russian accent every time you say Vlad. It's kind of like a rule. So here he is in the game finally, and he is magnificent. Really good model. He looks like Gollum's angrier older brother. He is a dude. So let's go through him. Let's talk about how we use him in a fight. Talk about his spells and abilities, and yeah, let's kill some poor Empire Bretonian dudes. One of them lot. So, first off, he's a spellcaster, he's armoured, and he's a melee expert. Melee experts might have a strong melee attack or defence, or high values in both. Some have also focused skills like charge defence. Use them to counter strong melee units. Yeah, you get the deal. It's kind of self-explanatory. So he's got 4,998 hit points. Just give him 5,000. Just give him 5,000. He's got really good armour of 90, leadership of 85, speed 40, which is very good for an undead dude. He doesn't sort of stagger about. He can actually get into the fight. A melee attack of 66, which is superb. A defense of 50, which is still pretty damn good. And a weapon strength of 430 of that. 140 of that is the armor piercing. He's got a charge bonus of 28, so not that great. But let's look at his abilities, shall we? And then we'll kill some poor dudes. So missile resistance 15%. He's a siege attacker, so he can go after to towers and gates and stuff like that, so that's really helpful in a pinch, but generally you don't want to be sending him on his own to go and knock on a door. Basically, he causes fear because look at him. He's got the encourage ability because he's the leader. He's got a hide in forest ability, all good. He's undead. We all know about undead by now. If you don't, read all my other undead guides. Crumbling, and then obviously the disintegrating is the more advanced. Basically, you don't run away from combat, but when you're losing, you just start hurting you. It's like self-harm, basically. You just start disintegrating. So first off, he's got the Curse of the Undeath, which is a constant buff around himself, and it's map-wide, so this affects your entire army, even if they're way on the other side of the map. I kind of didn't need to explain that, it's quite obvious. But it greatly replenishes the hit points of combatants and resurrects dead combatants. So it will heal the injured before it resurrects. So it basically keeps your entire army in the fight for longer, which is just fantastic. Next up, we've got the Aura of Dark Grandeur. What a great spell. And this is a hex spell, a debuff, as it's called. It's constant, and it affects all enemies within 45 meters, and it gives them all enemies -4 leadership. So if you're fighting something like a goblin heavy army, already they're screwed. You just need to sort of fart in their general direction and they're going to run away. So next up we've got the Hunger, which is an augment self. It's replenishes the hit points of himself. Basically, just thought that they'd add that in there, as with all the Hunger. So next let's talk about some of his spells. So he's got the Invocation of Nehek. We've been through a lot of these on the various different necromancers, so we won't go into too much detail, but basically this is resurrects and heals your units. 200 meter range, which is really good, lasts for 21 seconds, just keeps them in the fight longer. If you need a unit in the fight, that, like, sometimes you'll have a big army line, and if one unit breaks on that left flank, then you're screwed. So that sort of thing can be used really to help, along with already he's got the Curse of the Undeath, that really helps as well. So really, really useful. Next up, we've got Van Houth Dance Macabre, which is an ally buff, which is a speed and melee attack buff. Really good for like Blood Knights and stuff if you need to get them around the rear and charges and stuff like that, or rearrange your army. Next up, we've got Gaze of the Gash, which is a magic missile, apparently. 250 meter range, so nice range, a good early thing to use. It's really good against like single individual heroes, or like giants, or just like monstrous elite cavalry units and stuff. It's really good at it. Does magical damage. Not very good against like big mass units, because it's just, oh cool, I killed a goblin, like overkill. It's not really worth it. Next up we've got Raise the Dead, which spawns a unit of zombies within 16 meters. This is really good if you just need another unit in the fight, but more so if you're worried about getting flank charged and just getting surrounded, you can cast that pretty much on yourself to give you like a bodyguard unit. As it says, good at defending spellcaster. Damn it, that was my tip, man. You stole it. Next up, we've got Curse of Years, which is a hex, a debuff spell that you can cast on the ground or an enemy unit, and it affects all units within 45 meters. It gives them minus melee attack 34, which is really good, and really slows them down 24 speed, but plus 15 ability recharge, which is okay, but it's not really why you use that. It's mainly for the melee attack. And next up, we got Wind of Death, which is a magical attack that's only got a shorter range, 150 meters. You can't pick a unit, you pick a ground, and it sort of, for 8 seconds, it swirls about like wind does, and does really decent damage against big, large units, but it also disrupts their line. If you're about to charge, or they're about to charge, then it can really mess up their attack line, so you can get in some decent attacks. Next, this is his special ability. It's a Master of Beguilement, which is a hex spell that lasts for a massive 36 centimeters, I was going to say, for no apparent reason. 36 seconds. You cast on an enemy unit within 100 meters, and it gives them minus 46 melee attack. That makes some of the best units in the game rubbish. It really is. If you need to crack the main unit, like a lot of armies you'll face against will have, like, you know, lots of your standard, say, swordsmen and spearmen and stuff like that, but they might have one unit of sword masters or one big unit that you need to just get rid of first. So whack that on them, surround them with your anything really, and whittle them down nice and quick, and just deal with them. Is a really, really nice spell. So let's talk about how you'd use them in battle. Well, what are we fighting against? Oh, of course, you're on the hill. It's a long walk, mate. It's a long walk, Vlad. I think it's just a couple of units of... So first off, what I like to do is cast spells. So as you can see, the range here, it's very, very short range. It's pretty much like non-range, really. But we'll take a little unit of zombies to keep us company on the long trek to the hill. So the way you'd use this is much like any other necromancer. Obviously, with those abilities that help replenish with the... Where is it? They're so close together. The hunger. No, I don't mean the hunger, do I? I mean this one. The Curse of the Undeath, affecting all your units. It just means the whole army is going to stay in the fight longer. I do love the Master of Beguilement, because that can just wreck a unit. He's sending in that one big unit that he knows is going to just melt through zombies and Graveguard alike. Well, no, actually not anymore, mate. They're now like fumbling about. It's like they're using big foam dildos instead of hammers, you know, or whatever. But much like any other sort of necromancer, there's no sort of massive other difference to him. Come on. Shall we let's cast something, shall we? What shall we cast? So let's go for a wind. It's relatively short range. I'm hoping it'll tempt them into... They're going to start moving soon. So you kind of have, with these sort of spells, you always have to guess. I'm hoping that they're going to start moving soon. Please start moving. Please start moving. Yeah, boy! There we go. I think it just fires away. Look at that. So, as you can see, it's not a massive amount of damage. It's a fair amount. You're not gonna turn. Dude, wait for the zombies, right? It's not a massive amount of damage, but it's really good at doing a decent amount of damage. And then also, so if we use the Gaze of Nagash just for an example, which is not very good against units. There you go, brilliant. Right, let's get him into combat. But it's really good for disrupting an enemy line. There we go. Boom! He's getting stuck straight in. And eventually, the zombies will get them. He is a very good fighty character. He will tear through this unit regardless of how many of them there are. I like to use... So other than his sort of necromantic abilities, which is just kind of a pop-off and fire one off every time you get the power to... I prefer using the debuffs and the buffs rather than the sort of actual damaging spells overall, I think. But what you want, you want to get him in combat. He's not like a normal necromancer. He's a massively good fighter, but I don't like to charge him in first, like I just did. I want to. What should we go for here? Zombies, come back to life. I like to get him in the fight, but you don't want to be him being the one that gets charged. So what you want to do is let your two main army battles hit each other, and then just find a route in. Pick a unit that you want to go after. Maybe it's one of those ones that you did the Master of Beguilement in, so he's basically not going to take any damage, and just go and wreck faces, because he will absolutely destroy units, as he's doing, you know, right here with the help of some useless zombies. Like all single character units, he's fighting the hero now. Like all single characters. So, like all single characters, you can easily get, no matter how good they are fighting, you can easily get surrounded. So be wary of that. Don't just get surrounded, because eventually he will start going, oh shit, hang on, there's quite a few here. But he's having a fun time in there. He's a bit muddy. Oh, what's that? There was a bit of body that came out there. Look at the blood. They're having a fun old time. How's their hero doing? Look at this. Look at the combat. The hero's taking a ton of damage, even though we've been fighting for ages. Right, let's actually make zombies useful. Go zombies. You are now actually capable of fighting. Right, there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed my mini little guide. He's a brilliant character to have. He's so versatile, because you can use him as a necromancer. You can use him in combat. He's a fantastic character to have. So definitely give him a try, and he's got, you know, he's going to be brilliant fun. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new to the place. And go check out all my other guides, because I'm doing every single unit in the game. Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.